Yeah, I'm going to open with it. Farewell! Wow. It's finally here, boys and girls. This is our week 1 show. We're going to go over, I might have just lost my voice, some forum questions. We got sleepers, deep sleepers, and busts. But before all of that, like any of our shows, we start with a quick tip from our CEO and President, Dustin Barkley.
It sounded painful.
It hurt a little bit, I'm not going to lie.
It sounded a little painful.
I'm excited.
So, you know, in our forums, lots of questions right now, and a lot of people, it seems like, are considering kind of what we'll say as getting cute for week 1, as far as, you know, maybe looking too much into matchups and maybe, you know, thinking about, you know, starting guys that they wouldn't normally start because they're afraid of who their starters are. You know, like Aaron Rodgers this week. Yes, scary going up against Seattle, but don't do anything crazy. I mean, you can't weigh too much into what happened last year because so much changes from year to year. Will Seattle still be a top defense? Yes, probably. But you still, until we have some answers, don't do anything crazy.
And here's the thing with it. You drafted Aaron Rodgers in the 1st or 2nd round because you're going to start him every week. If this was week 4 and Aaron Rodgers already had 300 games and 2 touchdowns in each of those, you would not care that he was playing Seattle. So, and that's what you're expecting to do out of him because that's where you drafted him. Again, don't get cute. Start your studs. The only thing that you might play around with is your wide receiver 3 or your flex. That's it. Next.
Forum questions. And if you want to have a chance for your forum question to be asked on the show, get into our forums and start posting some questions. First one comes from Wagner Ski. They want to know, and I believe they would be getting Golden Tate for Riley Cooper. Might be the other way around, but who would you rather have, Golden Tate or Riley Cooper?
Not even close. Definitely Golden Tate. And I'm actually disappointed. Golden Tate was somebody we really liked coming into the year. I got him in a couple leagues. I wish I had him in more. I wish I reached a little bit more to get him. He did take him in a few leagues a couple rounds earlier than I wanted to, but I really think he's going to have a monster year. It's his best complimentary receiver ever that Calvin Johnson's had, that Matt Stafford's had. I love Tate well over Cooper and a lot of other wide receivers out there. All right, Dustin, our old friend Keller wants you to pick 2. Your boy Patterson at St. Louis, Crabtree at Dallas, or the hot Emmanuel Sanders home against the Colts. And Wes Welker, Molly, dude!
Yeah, I don't
know. Dude, I love you, man. You're like your favorite
He didn't
player.
do it. He didn't do it.
I do like his retort.
I believe him.
I do too.
I believe him. But just because of the Welker factor, even though, you know, there's a good chance Emmanuel Sanders is still going to be probably, you know, the number 3 option out there, I still like him. I think you got to pick him out of the 2. The upside's there. I certainly like him this week. So for me, it comes down to Crabtree or Patterson. I think if your league counts anything for return yards, I give the slight edge to Patterson. But if not, I think Crabtree's a much safer play here. You know,
Dallas. Yuck.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I mean, I'm still not a huge Crabtree fan. Just all the.
I think this is the year. I think he's going to be solid this year.
He's much safer, though, than Patterson. But, you know, if you get return yard points, I don't mind the gamble with Patterson. So then we got one more quarterback question from Bid Binary. Somewhat interesting. We got Luck at Denver, Romo versus San Francisco. Who you going with week 1?
Yeah, and the San Francisco defense isn't what it was last year. I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot worse. A little foreshadowing there for me. But whenever it's kind of close like this, I love to go to Vegas. The house always wins. The over-under for the Broncos-Colts game is 55. The over-under is 51.5 for the Cowboys-San Francisco game. When it's close like this, I like to go with where Vegas thinks more points are going to be scored, and that's in the Colts game. And plus, I love Andrew Luck. He's going to be a top 5 quarterback. He's just a stud. I'm pretty much starting Luck over Romo no matter what every week.
Vegas is pretty good.
They're amazing. They're really good.
All right, let's take a look at our dud sleeper and deep sleeper. My dud, I'm going with Cody Latimer. Here's the thing.
Stop picking him up.
And kind of talking about what we were talking about earlier, you know, I think he's certainly an interesting pickup right now. Yes, pick him up, put him on your bench, see what happens. But we've gotten a lot of forum questions on if they should start him over some pretty big names. I think the biggest I saw was they're deciding between him and Vincent Jackson.
Oh,
it's like you just can't consider stuff like that. I mean, depending on how many targets Monte Ball gets, he could be the 5th targeted receiver in that game. And it's like, will he still have a good game even as the 5th?
He could
It's possible, but you got to go with what's more likely in fantasy. Don't get too cute. Pick him up if you want him. He's still going to be a temporary solution because Walker's going to be back week 6 ready to go. But anyway, Don't get cute with him. My sleeper, Danny Woodhead. I picked him just out of principle.
Shocker.
Just because he's getting no love. He went undrafted in about half of all leagues.
He's so bitter.
This guy is really good at football. Any type of PPR league, he's a safe 8 to 12 points each week, and that's the thing here. I think he's a safe week 1 play. I don't love him against Arizona, but I think he's going to get his 6 catches, and I think he's going to get his 70-plus total yards. And my deep sleeper's Geno Smith going up against Oakland. I like the matchup. I really do think the Jets' offense will be decent this year, and I think Geno's going to take a next step in his career. I like Geno, any type of 2-quarterback league, any of those type of things.
That's because he owns him in our 2-quarterback league.
I do. I like him. I like him week 1.
All right, my dud is going to be the San Francisco 49ers defense. And this is why we say you don't take a defense in the middle rounds, because Seattle and San Francisco aren't going to be in my top 3 in the rankings this week, yet that's the way that they were drafted. They're really banged up. Bowman's gone. Smith, they're not going to get nearly as much pressure on Romo. This, again, the over-under was over 50 for this game. There's going to be a lot of points scored. I don't like San Francisco's defense. My sleeper is going to be Shane Vereen, and I know what you're thinking. He was drafted first in a PPR league, taking the middle round. How could it be a sleeper? What I'm saying is that's how some of those haters out there. But I love all you haters. I love you. That's how some of them talk. But Vereen, I'm saying, right now I've been 17. I think I might be even bumping him into a top 15 play. I know it's hard to say what New England's going to do, but I love everything that I'm hearing about him. I think he's going to be featured. I think he's going to catch a ton of balls, especially if you're in a PPR league. Congratulations. Good for you drafting Shane Vereen. And my deep sleepers, Marquise Lee. You know, the Jacksonville Jaguars, their offensive line is at best, so I think they're going to try to run against the Eagles a little bit, and that ain't going to work real quick, so they're going to chuck the ball over the place. I'm going back to Vegas, this over-under is 52, Eagles favored by 10, which means they still think they're going to score about 20, 24 points for the Jags this week. Somebody's going to be catching the ball, somebody's going to be scoring touchdowns, somebody's going to be getting yards. I actually think it's going to be Lee. Cecil Shorts is going to have coverage rolled over to him.
All right, let's get into Mike's picks. His dud's going to be Ben Tate. More about not necessarily Tate as it is about the Browns passing unit. You know, he's feeling like Steelers are just going to move in.
I would stack the box.
Stack the box.
That's a really good idea.
Make sure Hoyer is the one that beats him and not Tate. His sleeper is going to be Travis Kelce. You know, tight end for Kansas City. Dwayne Bowe suspended the first game. Could mean a few more targets for Kelce, so he's not minding him if you're not liking your tight end play for week 1. And his deep sleeper is going to be Sean Green. You know, there's been a lot of reports on Sankey and how that situation's going, and there's a good chance the Titans might not be ready to give the ball to Sankey that much. So
I'm gonna say it happens like week 4 or 5. Green's gonna have a little value.
It might take a little while for them to trust him a little more. So not a bad deep sleeper if you're in a deeper league. You're looking for a running back play.
If you want to do FanDuel, I joined 6 leagues, FST 2014, really fun. First football game, Thursday night. Happy birthday to yours truly. Couldn't ask for a better birthday gift. You guys throw it.
It's his birthday tomorrow.